A stage with a wide revolving platform, with the presence of Dr. Ambedkar through his life, remarkable journey of life, and over 50 artists. These are only a handful of the standouts at the first row of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar, popularly known as Baba Saheb, was the chairman of Constitutional Drafting Committee and a champion of Dalit and minority rights movement in India. Ambedkar, who was an economist and social reformer, also served as the first Law Minister of independent India. Born into a poor Mahar caste in Mahu, Madhya Pradesh, he was the first untouchable to have entered Elphinstone College, which was affiliated with the University of Bombay.
After obtaining a degree in economics and political science, Ambedkar moved to the United States in 2013 to study at Columbia University in New York City. He earned doctorates in economics from Columbia University and London School of Economics. Throughout his political career and public life, Ambedkar worked for the upliftment of Dalit community. He published the book Annihilation of Caste in 1936, which spoke against caste system and Hindu Orthodox religious leaders. He also formed the Independent Labour Party in the same year and contested Bombay election to Central Legislative Assembly in 1937. He opposed the special status being granted to Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 and supported Uniform Civil Code. In 1956, he converted to Buddhism along with 500,000 Dalit followers. He was posthumously awarded Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian honor, in 1990.
Now we would like our dignitaries to come on the stage and light the lamp so that we can begin our play. I welcome Dr. Pooja Kaushik, Dr. Brahmdatt Chandramani, and our beloved Professor Dr. Prashnanshu and Mr. Dwivedi to come on the stage and light the lamp.
Professor Vinod is also amongst us. Please come, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Now, our team is going to felicitate the guests.
Ji, I welcome you. Pooja Kaushik ji, Professor Vinod, please come on the stage.
I request everyone to please put their hands together and give them a huge round of applause. Thank you, everybody. Now I request the play members to please begin the play. Enjoy.
So while the scene is being presented, so I will just introduce the guests in brief and the program of the day. It is after a long time that we are able to gather here again on this stage. This has been a regular feature of our university that we organize literary days and poetry events. But it is due to the COVID lockdowns that after almost 3 years we are gathering again. And some of my colleagues, friends are already there. Professor Vinod Kumar is there amongst us. He is a professor in NLU Delhi. He is my colleague. Dr. Pooja Kaushik ji is there, a renowned poetess. And Dr. Chandramani Brahmdatta is there, a poet, and also the founder of Indraprasth Literature Festival. And I have been associated with all the three for a very long time. I am also associated with Indraprasth Literature Festival as it's what's the word? It's slipping me. It's patron, yeah. Life patron. So I hope that we would be having greater interaction with Indraprasth Literature Festival also in the days to come. And with this, we start with the play on the life of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. I think this is really one of the best tributes to the great soul and to one of the founding fathers of India, that we live incidents from his life on the stage. It's an effort behind which there is a very long and a large amount of effort on behalf of the students, and I take this opportunity to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor and the Registrar who have given their kind permission and support to organize this event. So please enjoy the play, and after that I would request all of you to take part in the poetry event. Thank you.
A jurist, economist, lawyer, cabinet minister, social reformer, Bharat leader of the depressed classes. Yes, we are talking about Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. There is arguably no person who has left such a strong impression on the foundations and ideas of a country as Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Born on April 14, 1891, Baba Sahib was the 14th and last child of Ramji Malloji and Bhimabai Sakpal.
Baba Sahib was born in Mahom, Madhya Pradesh, and he then moved to Bombay in 1897. He was the first Dalit to enroll in Elphinstone High School and the first Dalit to graduate from Bombay University. He was also the first Dalit to get a scholarship for studying at Columbia University and the London School of Economics. He was gifted with extraordinary intellectual prowess.
However, despite all his talents and all his intelligence, Ambedkar's childhood and youth were marred by prejudices, violence and bigotry owing to his caste. Today, by way of this play, we see the events that shaped Baba Sahib, beginning right from his childhood to his journey as a young boy
to becoming one of the founding fathers of modern India.
Nana, what will school be like? Arey, wait just yet. You'll see yourself today. And please don't be impatient. Dada, I just can't wait. I just can't. It's okay. Just listen to what teacher teaches. That's it. Of course I will, Dada.
Ambedkar enters the class. There are many students sitting and talking to one another, taking out their slates and getting ready for class. Ambedkar goes up to the children slowly, sits with them and begins taking out his things. Slowly, the chatter stops.
What do you think you're doing? Excuse me, you're talking to me. How dare you answer him back? You untouchable.
Yes, we're talking to you. You untouchable. Go, sit in the back.
Why should I sit at the back?
Hurry, look at how stubborn he is. These people are rotten to the core. Get out of the class right now. Go sit in the back.
Sit in the corner. Go.
Get out.
What is happening? Why are you all yelling?
Master Saab, this untouchable trying to sit with us. We cannot sit with him. Yes, Master Saab, ask him to sit at the back.
Ram. So you are the root cause of these problems? You people, how dare you sit there? Move away. Move away and sit back in the corner. Come on, Nalin, we don't have all day. Move away. Okay, so we will be doing multiplication. We did it yesterday too. So who will be telling me the table of 8? Anyone? Ganesh? Anyone?
8 banda 8.
How dare you speak? Done it? Of course. Don't speak until you have been asked you to speak.
Ambedkar goes to drink water, finds a pot, matka, where everybody drank from. He is about to drink from it when a peon passing by stops him and shouts.
Hey, you. Stop right there. Move back. Who do you think you are, huh? Don't you know that water is reserved for the upper caste? You've polluted that. Get away now.
Disturbed, yet determined, Bhim did not let these instances become hurdles in his quest for knowledge. Even when his teachers dissuaded him from learning, being the bold and young man that he was, he answered back and never bowed from a challenge. And thus, we see the following incident one day.
Good morning, students.
Morning, ma'am.
How is everybody doing? That's great. So for today's class, I thought that we'll be solving some really tough questions on the board. For that, I would like to call one of you here on the board and solve the questions for the rest of the class. Who among you would like to volunteer? Ganesh, would you like to come? Bhim, would you like to come to the board and solve the questions? That's great.
Unbeknownst to the teacher, the tiffins of the other students were kept behind the blackboard, and the students ran to take their tiffin in fear of it being polluted.
What is this behavior, students? What happened? Ma'am, this untouchable was trying to touch our tiffins. What will we tell our parents then? What nonsense is this? I don't want to do anything. Come back to your seats right now. Come back to your seats.
A few years later, Ambedkar realized he would be reminded of his caste everywhere. Even something as basic as access to drinking water was a challenge for him.
I wonder, I feel so thirsty. I wonder if there is a tap nearby.
Hey boy! What is it that you think you're doing? You're not allowed to drink water from here. More so, even touch this tap. Only upper caste people can drink water from here. You rotten rats pollute our water. Just get out from here.
I was feeling thirsty, and that's why I was drinking it. Also, Mother Nature provides this water for everyone. Our
history. He completed schooling from Elphinstone High School and later got a scholarship from the King of Baroda to study at Columbia University.
Bhim and his elder brother are on their way to meet their sick father in Goregaon. They decide to make the journey via bullock cart.
Boys, why are you getting so silent here? Let's talk. What do we talk about? Let's start with names. My name is Keshav. What is your name? Okay, I'm Anand and he is my brother Bhim. Good. You can't take us to Goregaon. But why are you going to Goregaon? Where would you stay? Military camp. Our father is a cashier. Oh wow, military kids. What is your father's name? Subedar Major Ramji Satpal. Hey Ram, what have I done? These untouchables have ruined my cart. Get off right now. What have we done to you? You have ruined my cart. I will have to pray for my cart. Oh Lord, please forgive me. Please don't leave us in the middle of the jungle. I cannot take you anywhere. Please take some extra money. Please, we'll drive the cart. Extra money so I'll take. You guys have ruined my cart. But even then, I will not touch this anymore. You will have to drive it on your own. We will walk from here, but won't give him any extra penny. Right, Dada? It's already late at night and we need to get home fast. We'll drive the car.
Then Bhim and Anand pulled the bullock cart on their own, without any food and water. Wherever they stopped for water, people would turn them away due to their caste. Despite all this, they reached Goregaon. But this affected young Bhim's mind so much that he decided to fight against this injustice and started studying very hard from there on. After returning from Columbia, Ambedkar came to live in Baroda, where he had to work for the Maharaja to fulfill his scholarship bond. Bhimrao Ambedkar served in the Baroda state for about 15 days when he received a telegram informing him that his father was seriously ill in Bombay. When Bhimrao Ambedkar was on his way to Bombay by train, he stopped at a station to buy some sweets for his father and missed the train. The next day, when he reached his house,
Whenever he faced difficulties, he always supported Bhimrao and motivated him to study more, so that he could help the other people who were facing discrimination due to their caste and religion and to fight for their rights. It was the saddest day in Baba Sahib's life. When Baba Sahib was in Baroda, the Colombian educated scholar could not find a place to stay because of caste bias, and thus he ended up at a Parsi inn. The inn, however, was open only for the Parsis. When asked about his caste, he declared himself to be one.
Welcome to our inn, sir.
Thank you. I would want to have a room.
Sure, sir. Please give me your details. Name,
Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar,
address,
Satara,
caste and religion.
Parsi. I'm a Parsi.
Okay. A helper will show you your room.
Yes. Thank you.
When Ambedkar was changing his clothes, the helper who was passing by noticed that Ambedkar was not wearing the traditional Parsi thread, and thus he complained to the landlady.
Man, he's not passing. He's not even wearing traditional.
What? Get him here.
are not a Parsi. Tell us, who are you?
I've told you already. I'm a Parsi.
Don't try to fool us.
All right. Show me your Sudri Kushti then. Come on. I saw that you are not wearing it. Now tell us.
All right. I'm a Hindu.
You lied to us. You can't stay here anymore. This place is only reserved for the Parsis.
Please. I'm the army secretary for the Maharaja of Baroda. I'll find another accommodation, but please give me some time.
You can't stay here anymore. If people come to know about this, it'll lead to a huge uproar against your will.
Please give me some time. I'll find another accommodation, but just don't let me leave.
If you want to live here, you gotta give me something.
All right, as much as you want, but just please let me be here.
And you can't live in this room. Wait, we'll fetch you another.
No.
But this settlement between Ambedkar and the innkeeper did not hold long, and somehow people got to know that a Dalit is living among them. An angry crowd enters and they start yelling and shouting.
You cannot live here.
You have polluted us and are living with your parents. Listen, mister. Take a bag and go.
Please.
Go away.
Please, where will I find
Go
another accommodation?
away. Go away.
Just move. Move. Come on.
Tired and hungry, he burst into flood of tears. The sky above was his shelter, and the ground below his floor. Although he was a man of learning, and 1,000 times superior to those creatures who wallowed in the mire ignorance, superstitions, and evil customs, he realized that he could not soften the prejudice of these casteist people.
No matter how many degrees, no matter how many colleges I go to, no matter what my intellectual power is be, I would always be called a Dalit in this country. Just a Dalit. Not my merits, not my degrees, not who I am matters. All what matters is my caste. I'm a Dalit.
As Baba Saheb Ambedkar was facing such atrocities outside his workplace, it was a similar situation in his office where his juniors and helpers were behaving in a very ignorant and unofficial manner just because he was an untouchable.
Nidhi, can you please give me the file of last month's salary expenses? Nidhi? Sukharam, please can you fetch me a glass of water? There is no water here. Bring your own from home. Then what is that? I told you, there is no water in it for you. Stop. Listen to me, and listen to me well. You may be our senior here, but you still are an untouchable. You can't touch and drink anything from here. Understand? Let the Maharaja know about this then. Yes, let him know. I'm not afraid of him. This is our religion which you are politic. He is the Maharaja. He can do anything. He can even employ dirty untouchables like you.
After this incident, he quit his job and returned to Bombay to join his family. In November of 1918, Dr. Ambedkar joined Citizen College as a professor of political economics and worked there for 2 years. It is said that his lectures got so famous that even students and professors from other colleges came to attend. Even though he was so accomplished, he found himself alienated amongst his colleagues. One fine day, in the professor's staff room, Ambedkar goes up to the water matka and begins pouring water. Other professors, who were visibly uncomfortable, shift in their seats.
Hello, I am Professor Trivedi. The water you are about to drink is only meant for professors, you know. What do you think I do here, Professor Trivedi? I think you mistook me. What I mean to say is like you should bring your own water maybe. Why? Why exactly should I do that, Professor? Why should I bring my own water from home? Why should I not drink this water? Will it become impure? Why do you not bring your own water from home? Or why do you not try to purify this water, huh? Maybe this is something for you to think about.
From being afraid to drink water from the public wells to fiercely standing his ground, Baba Saheb had come a long way. From a young boy to the leader of the oppressed, Ambedkar used his own experiences to try and create an India free of such discrimination and oppression.
Dr. Ambedkar passed away on 6 December 1956. At his funeral pyre, over millions of followers renounced their current religion and embraced Buddhism, pledging to carry forward his vision of a just and modern society based on equality. Dr. Ambedkar's concern for human rights ensured that political power was shared by casteless people in the new independent India despite strong social and religious resistance. We leave you today with Baba Saheb's quote, "Be educated, be organized and be agitated."
I, Pratha Karki,
And I, Abhinav Sheela,
on behalf of the entire fraternity of the institution, first of all, extend my most sincere thanks to Professor Prashnanshu for making today's event a resounding success. With his blessing and grace, we are able to make this event what it was.
on behalf of National Law University Delhi, I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our guests, Dr. Chandramani Brahmdutt and Dr. Pooja Kaushik and Mr. Vinod, who spared time from their busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Today we had an opportunity to see the remarkable event that shaped the life of Baba Saheb thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events in life. The thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path.
My gratitude to all the members of the play, including Professor Prashnanshu, Dr. Prashnanshu. I request all of the play members to please come on stage.
So, congratulations. It was a really wonderful performance. And everyone can now see that how big a team we are having. In the past, we used to have several plays, but all of the effort this time was kept for this single play. It is so important, and I think that due importance was given to this. There were certain things in this play. I am supposed to only praise it because, but since I am a part of you, I can also tell and share that I was happy as well as you can think otherwise, that there were places where I saw that you could not even imagine what untouchability is, because and that is rather a happy thing. This is happy, but if we look at it as a director, then there were certain places where if you knew the horrors of untouchability, it would have been slightly different. Some scenes would have been slightly different, and we did all this in the class. We have been doing this. It is very important. The theme of our class is, and we spent several days on it, the theme is Dr. Ambedkar's struggle for education. Although this play highlighted mainly the challenges faced by Dr. Ambedkar in even getting education. It is, although the education part is not highlighted, and personally I have shared with you that I consider him to be my ideal in the field of education at least, because that is a field where I belong to. So my ambition is to be as educated or even near him. So that is the highest ambition I professionally have. It was very touching. Some of the places, some of the scenes were very, very shocking, of course, and they may or may not be politically correct even. I don't even know because the type of language, but most of it was improvisation by the characters and the director. But I know that it is in the spirit is important in what way we are performing it. So the last scene, for the people who don't know, I was an invitee. It was, they wanted to, this is a very unique type of scene that we had, where I was gifted the signed copy. It was acting, of course, there was no signatures of the Constitution of India. And it was a great honor to me. Thank you very much. And I would also I have been talking about it, that the greatest contribution of this constitution is that, or rather it is so successful that we don't see many examples of such a successful constitution, that practically everyone, we have our own views, religious views, social views, political views, but still it is rare or it is unheard of that people want to change the constitution. Although in many countries it is almost a routine that with every new government a new constitution is required. So the basic spirit of India is represented in this constitution. That is the greatness of this, and I was really touched and honored by that. And finally I would like to thank everyone, all the students who have put in their efforts in many different ways, including in acting, stage management. I wonder that you must have seen 10 or 20 people on the stage, but this is a team, and maybe some of them are still invisible because they are working on the controls. There are many, and there is a whole structure here, and I know and I thank them, but it will really not be possible to name everyone here. But the coordinators, specifically I would like to congratulate the main characters, and also every single character really did a very good job. They spent a lot of time. I think you took 1 month or more than 1 month into it. 1 month. And they also learned administrative procedures this way, communication, working as a team. And we have Mr. Baldev amongst us and Mr. Ramesh, who are looking after the auditorium, then the air conditioning team, the electricians, the housekeeping team, the guards, and the store and the administration. And I have already thanked the Honorable Vice Chancellor and the Registrar. Thank you very much. Now we will have a quick photo op, first with the team, then everyone can join.